Everyone, welcome back to the My Coach for Life YouTube channel. Now, I'm a huge fan of personal development. For anyone who's subscribed to my channel or knows me well, you will know that I spend most of my personal time outside of working and outside of my family, submersed in all things self-help and personal development. Now, one of my favourite sayings by arguably one of the pioneers, but definitely someone who's been around and helped shape the personal development space, chap called Jim Rohn. And Jim once said that we're the average of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. And I love that sentiment. I love that idea that, surrounding yourself with the right people is ultimately going to shape how you show up in the world. But what I also recognize and know is we can't always choose directly who we're going to actually spend our time with, dependent upon where we are in the world, dependent upon where we work and the teams that we're put in. You might end up in an environment where, you do find people that are, or something's always going wrong. There's always a problem. There's never a solution. It's always someone else's fault. There's always blame. The people are not lifting each other up and supporting each other. So I do completely empathize and have had experience of working in those environments where there's always something going wrong instead of something going right. So I totally understand that. So in today's video, what I'd like to do is share 5 ideas, 5 really simple ideas, may I add, that we can actually use in what I might call our disposable time. So ultimately, where if you can't choose to be with a certain group of people, what sometimes can happen is people take that phrase and they think that they have to physically spend time with the average of those 5 people. Well, what I want to do is take the principle of that idea and give you 5 really simple ways to be able to increase that average, if you like. So first one, that's simple, nothing rocket science here, is just to read more. Okay, books, whether you like a physical book, whether you like, the sort of electronic version of a book. There is so much wonderful literature, so much great research. The self-help world, the personal development world is full of great ways to improve ourselves as human beings. And as you know, that's one of my big things, is to be able to help people see the world differently and show up in the world differently. So, even if you just start small on this, okay? And it's like, well, where do I start? Just jump in. Just jump in 5 minutes a day. We can all find 5 minutes a day to start something. So start smaller than you think you should. One of the favorite videos I recorded, there's a link to that up above. And just start submersing yourself in some of these wonderful authors that have been around for a long time and some newer ones that are just starting to share their work. But there is so much work out there for you to go through. Number 2, podcasts. So if you're not a reader and you're kind of like, well, thanks for that, Adam, no surprises there, you're telling me to read. Podcasts are a wonderful medium, whether you're walking the dog, whether you're in the car in the morning. Please don't listen to the news. Please don't have the radio on. Put something useful on that can help change the way you see the world, okay? Again, there's podcasts on every kind of topic, whether you're into improving your confidence, whether you want to be a public speaker, whether you parenting. I've got 2 little boys. There's just so much great content and material out there in the podcast world, whether you like short, sharp bursts or, like myself, a longer conversation. So I like the Tim Ferrisses of the world. I love the Diary of a CEO podcast with Steve Bartlett, Joe Rogan's podcast. Coaching, obviously I'm a professional coach, so things like Robbie Swales, the Coach's Journey podcast. There is literally podcasts for everything. Business, I could go on and on. Number 2, for me, podcasts. Number 3, you're watching it. YouTube, if podcasts you like listening, if you're someone who likes watching, YouTube is just a wonderful, wonderful platform. And I think sometimes YouTube can be misunderstood or misread. For kids watching how to play games or looking at toy reviews, the YouTube platform has got a wealth of knowledge and information. And if you take books, if you take podcasts, all those people in those that we're looking to be around, that's going to kind of help us show up differently in the world, oftentimes they will have a YouTube channel, and they'll certainly be creating content based on maybe the book that they've authored, or they're doing a seminar. You'll find just so much great content in there. Number 4, get around communities of like-minded people. And this is where people go, how do I do that? Again, depending upon what social media platforms you're part of. And there's groups of people who are, I have a Peloton. There's a Peloton community. So I'm in the Peloton community. Those people are sharing what's going on for them. They're cheering each other on. They're helping each other overcome obstacles. I created a personal development group. I didn't know where there was one locally. So with my network, I said, look, why don't we meet on a monthly basis, share what's going on, share our wins, share what our challenges are and our obstacles. And that group's just made up of a handful of people who all have a desire to improve and develop. So again, just get out there, look, Google it. And if there isn't one, create one. Take that inspiration, take that leap of, I want to be around people who are going to lift me up, help me, support me, and move me forward. And then the 5th and final one is articles. If you're someone who gets bombarded with emails and you've subscribed to loads of things that you don't want, have a clear out, start afresh. And I did a video about this, about how to use social media for our benefit. And this is one of those areas where you say, actually, I can sign up to material, to articles, to blogs that, again, you might be sat on the train, you might be waiting for your kids whilst they're doing gymnastics or swimming or something like that, and you can just jump on and read an article. So I hope that's been useful. It's 5 ways there. As I say, we don't always have to be in the physical environment of these people. There's knowledge, there's experience, there's learning out there that we can, in our disposable time, choose to consume and be part of the work that those people that we aspire to be around, they're putting stuff into the world. As always, I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.